guys, I'm kind of done with the golf for the day, but I want to start talking to you guys about the new technological advancements in the health field. And so let's look at our first invention. As you can see in our picture right here, it's called the pillow. The pillow is a great assistant in the house to tell the patients when they need to take their medications. When the pillow gets to know someone a bit better, they actually start to have a small conversation with you. For example, if you go to the gym every single morning, pillow will say, "Have fun at the gym," or something like that. It still does give people their required medications that they need for the day. This robot sees your face and then starts the conversation. So it's kind of like a face-to-face thing. This robot comes at a small price of under $300. When it comes to the tech and medical field, that's actually pretty cheap. And there's only one problem with this. Yeah, this great invention, you actually can't sleep with it. What a bummer.
Celery is excellent for your health.
Great, I'll have a bunch then.
Aww.
Hello, honey.
Good morning.
Pillow is simple to set up and makes the management of complex medication regimens very easy. He'll remind you, so you'll never miss a dose again.
Wait, John, it's Tuesday. Here's your blood pressure medication.
You're right. Thank you, Pilo.
So let's look at our next invention. As you can see right here in this picture, it's called tissue engineering and 3D printing. So tissue engineering takes your tissues and then tries to recreate one of your organs in the body. And this is really great for many people, for like livers or anything like kidneys. Next thing would be 3D printing. It is mainly used for like casts because they're waterproof and they don't take the people don't have to take like days off because the water will soak in and like many problems will arise. So, and also these 3D printing ones, they're tailor-made for each one, so they feel comfortable for the person, and they don't feel like a burden. They actually feel like they're going to help them. So as you can see in our next invention right here, many kids will actually like this one. It's called virtual reality. So now in the day of technology, many people are getting more and more hooked to their phones or any electronic devices. In this case, they'll be hooked to virtual reality. And how does this actually help the patients, you might be asking? Because, it's just some technological device that seems to be useless in the health medical field. It's just only good for entertainment. Well, actually, you'd be wrong. It's mainly meant for people to not see the problem, and so they can just feel more relaxed. Because mainly the pains arise from when the brain notices them. So, what is our next invention? Our next invention is actually nutrigenomics. This is actually a really nice one, and we start off with 23andMe. If you don't understand anything about chromosomes, don't worry. 23andMe is basically saying about 23 chromosomes and me. So nutrigenomics is basically the nutrition matched to your genes. So it helps you grow. So say you're diabetic. It'll tell you, you can take a scan of the actual food that you're eating, and it'll tell you how much sugar is in it. So it'll tell you, you've been eating a little too much sugar today. Let's try backing off on this. And if you really want to eat it, they'll say, maybe you just eat a small portion of it. So cancer has been going around for many years now, and doctors and scientists have finally found somewhat of a cure or treatment. So what is one of these things? It's called cancer nanotherapy. So as you can see in this very complex picture right here, basically cancer being like a very big thing, this nanotherapy is a very small thing, okay? Nanotherapy is using nanotechnology to actually get to the patients, and it treats the patients. So our next invention is called Heart in a Box. Now, for anyone who likes to celebrate Valentine's Day, I'm not talking about chocolates in a regular old heart box. I'm talking about an actual heart in a box. A real box and a real heart, okay? So what this invention does is it keeps the heart a lot longer. Because, when you go to the picnic, you normally bring a cooler. And like any normal person, they would bring a cooler. So doctors actually use a cooler for hearts. So that was bad because it didn't, like, the heart wasn't still working. It wasn't still giving off the blood, so it actually died off earlier. And sometimes it didn't come with success, and it was also very far distance. So only like 2 to 3%, or maybe a little bit more, would actually be used per year, which was wasting a lot of these organs, precious organs and muscles. But with this new thing called Heart in a Box, we actually can keep these hearts for much longer now, okay? So because what happens is that they let the heart act like if it was still in a human body. It tries to replicate the human body, and by trying to put tubes in to where the arteries and the veins are, so the blood can still pump and flow. So what is our next invention? Our next invention is actually really nice. It's called robotic surgery. Okay, now we're talking about robotics and surgery. Many people are going to be hooked to those sci-fi movies where all the robots starts to take over the world. Well, you know, surgery and robotics, that doesn't really happen. Robots are actually, in this case, are actually being helpful. So, what is our next invention? It's called the EcoCore. So, many people, like you, when you might have been growing up, or if you're still a child, you might have had it when you were little. You might have this thing called a stethoscope, which was a staple in pretty much every single doctor's play kit. But this next invention is more than just a plain old regular stethoscope. It's called EcoCore. So what is so different from the EcoCore? Because as you all can see, it looks like a regular old stethoscope that anyone would play with. But the actual thing is, this one amplifies the sound. So when the doctor puts the bell onto your heart or onto your lungs, they can hear it a lot better, and so they won't have to fine-tune listening to it. And it's a lot better because then they actually can count the beats, and it makes it a lot more accurate for the doctors. So our next one, it's called augmented reality. So there's VR, as many people know, and there's AR. Now, augmented reality, as some people may know, is actually on their phones. And as you can see in this picture right here, it's on a tablet. So what can augmented reality be doing for people? Well, it can help doctors see like what's going to be the problem with like the veins. They can see the veins, they can see the arteries, they can see the muscles, the bones, and it can help patients understand what is the problem a lot easier. So doctors don't have to give a long speech for something that makes so little sense. Thank you for watching Expressright, and stay tuned for more videos.